Blue Lock's Neo Egoist League has finally come to an end, with every player evolving and unlocking their true ego, which obviously means that the 40 goals in this arc are next level compared to early Blue Lock.
Let the challenge begin.
Isagi has a lot to follow, but he's not close to reaching these guys yet, so he has to steal a ball meant for Ness to start his own attack. But because of his current weakness, he has to think of another way to defeat Kaiser. So he sets up Kunigami instead, who uses his lefty shot to fire it into the back of the net, winning the game and giving Isagi an assist, which gives him his first salary. This goal is quite average, and I mean, Isagi had to compromise his own goal and set up Kunigami for a decent finish at best, so I think this goal is a good candidate for the C tier. However, for the next goal, Isagi reads the game perfectly, to the point where he stops Nagi's godlike trapping, which was thought to be unstoppable by the way. He teams up with Kurana and they start to dismantle Manshin City, getting past 1, 2, 3, 4 people before using Kunigami as bait to get into position. Everyone starts glazing Isagi because he just awakened Metavision completely. I mean, he even starts busting nuts, stating he's amazing to himself and thinks that he's a kami. Now in this euphoria, the goal takes 3 chapters to build up. He is nearly stopped by Kaiser, but somehow performs his own nutmeg and smashes his direct shot into the top corner, making this one of the best goals in all of Blue. Oh wait, what? Oh no! Kaiser did manage to make Isagi miss. Wait, oh my god, and he gets another assist, leading to this iconic panel of Isagi tweaking the out. But the main takeaway here is that, yeah, it may have been an assist, but what leads to a goal is just as, if not more important than the finish, and Isagi ran through their entire team here with Kurana. This is very close to S tier, but for now, we have to place it in A tier due to the finish not completely being bonkers. But let's move back to the game between Manshine City and Bastard München. But for the next goal, it occurs when Isagi leads the attack. It starts when he stops Nagi from scoring another super insane goal. However, our MC, he realizes that there is no path towards goal. That is, until his mentor and the guy that he idolizes, Noel Noa, he chooses to partner up with him. Imagine your childhood idol deciding to set you up for a goal. That's like Ronaldo or Messi acknowledging you when no one else does. So as a result, the path towards the goal immediately becomes clear with Metavision. The aim is to destroy Kaiser, with it leading to Isagi even awakening his egocentrism, which is important to a player. But that's not all. When Kurana also joins in, Manshin City, they were cooked.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
They immediately get past 2 of the enemy team. Then Isagi and Noah defeat Chris Prince, moving even closer towards goal. Ness and Kaiser both try to stop Isagi, but he uses Kurana to dance past both of them. And then Noah helps him get past Kaiser yet again. The build up to the attack is so crazy that not even Chigiri or Nagi can do anything about it. Freaking Isagi's own teammate, Yuki Miya, attempts to stop him, but it turns out this was all part of his plan, like he's freaking Aizen, as Isagi uses him as bait to get through on goal. Noah stops Chris again, and it seems as though Isagi is about to score his first goal in the Neo League, but Kaiser finally gets his own back, stopping Isagi. But just like he did against Rin, Isagi uses his back heel, but this time to resurrect the one he sunk into darkness. Yukimiya comes to life as Isagi tells Kaiser what a clown he is, and Yukimiya scores an insane sword screw shot which even Ryo's Metavision can't read. This is again another S tier. I mean, the teamwork was perfect from start to finish. Yukimiya's goal is one of the best, and it was inspired by Chris prince. Now think about it, the ball is somehow spins into the ground so hard that it completely shifts the trajectory. This is pretty much impossible and kind of breaks the law of physics. You can do something similar in real life, but not to this extent and with this much power. So continuing their winning streak, Boston München face off against Ubers, and thanks to his training, Isagi finally gets his first goal in the Neo League. It begins with Isagi stopping an attack with ease, and in chapter 204, he had collapsed after the game and slept for 10 hours straight after overexerting Metavision. His whole body was aching, but he pushed on, and thanks to Isagi's further training, he can now keep up a lot more with his Metavision ability. So with his duo Kurana, they start dashing through Ubers, and Isagi's dribbling, it's on another level. We don't give it enough credit, as even Yukimiya is completely outclassed. Then, using his footwork, he gets between both IQ and Nico, who are two of the best defenders in Blue Lock. He's finally set up, but Ness is there to stop him. And before he's denied from another goal, making it the third time, guess what? Isagi reveals his new weapon, bitch. His lefty direct shot, scoring his first goal in the Neo League. By the way, keep in mind, Isagi only had 5 days to train himself to be able to perform lefty shots. And given that it was an incomplete weapon, since IQ confirmed it's only 40% of his right foot, we can appreciate more how he was able to pull off this technique. Isagi basically stopped Uber's winning formula, as they are the best defensive team in the NEL because of their analytical and data analysis approach to the game. That didn't stop Hisagi from performing incredible teamwork and then scoring with his weak foot. So this goes right at the top of B tier. But during this, Isagi is really struggling because of Uber's defense. They not only have Lorenzo, who's one of the best defenders since he is part of the New World 11 with Sai Itoshi. However, on top of that, Nico and Aiku have now awakened Metavision. As a result, Isagi basically forces Noah to sub on Hiori, so he can fully synchronize with someone who has the same vision as him. But after failing twice already, and even Hiori trying to take the glory for himself, Isagi finally figures out how to break through Uber's defense. He tells Hiori to act on reflex, and without thinking, they need to sync up. As a result, this gives the defenders no chance of time to think logically on what they are about to do. Hiori and Isagi break past Lorenzo and Nico easily, with others stating that Hiori is just too good. But as they continue to push forward, Isagi stops and stares right at him. Hiori realizes the pass that Isagi wants, a pass to the only blind spot on the field. But it sounds completely insane to do, right? Well, Hiori moves past Baru, Nico, and Isagi makes his move without even looking at him, whilst everyone is puzzled on what's going on. Hiori also had no idea where Isagi was, but just played the ball into the perfect position. And of course, Isagi is waiting. This is only possible due to their metavision seeing the pitch from an outside perspective. And because Isagi was the only one who believed in Hiori in that moment, hence why Kaiser, for example, couldn't see this coming. Well, in truth, no one could, because it's close to impossible. Even Lorenzo states how this goal surpasses any sort of perfect design they had thought of, making this one of the best goals in all of Blue Lock. Like, imagine watching this on TV. This guy just randomly kicks the ball into no man's land without even looking up, and another player is somehow there for a perfect finish. So I'm gonna put this in S tier. However, our MC, Hisagi, he's like, bruh, I ain't done trying to prove I'm the best. As the next goal comes from Hiori stealing the ball from Charles, being the first one to read his contrarian playstyle. This starts the counter-attack, where bro sends a pass without looking at Isagi again, but this time between 3 people. This is the definition of threading the needle. Then Isagi uses the favor that Kunigami owes him from before and moves moves out of position so Kunigami can send him the final pass. But before he can finish, both his arch rivals appear. Kai'Sa and Rin are there to stop him, but Isagi pulls off a brand new move, his 2-gun volley. He's America up in this bitch. He's got the gats out. Like, bruh. Isagi fakes kicking with his left and then rifles the ball into the back of the net with his right while still in mid-air. Basically a scissor kick. Now, if you are having trouble visualizing it, it's basically when Di Canio scored for West Ham in the Premier League. This is Isagi's best goal in the Neo League. He surpassed both his rivals and came up with a new attack that could propel him to the top of the world. The technique and spur of the moment thinking to counter the pressure is crazy. He's almost outside of the box. Not only that though, he and Hiori replicated their older goal but with an even better finish, putting this firmly in S tier. Isagi finally realizes and gets another puzzle piece where he learns about the types of ego. He isn't a genius, he's a talented learner. So after stopping Loki's plan and defeating Rin, Isagi leads Bastard München to their next attack. Well, technically, Kai'Sa is the one who intercepts Rin, but you get what I mean. Because Isagi chose to make a devil's contract and team up with Kai'Sa to surpass the greater threat. The entire team works together and is better than ever due to Isagi inspiring them. They all admit that Isagi is the heart of the team. Where PXG starts glazing them too, where the enemy is glazing you, you know something's up. They say these guys are completely destroying us, their teamwork is too OP. Now thanks to our MC, he starts seeing himself as a pawn and he's willing to sell his soul to score. He gains the advantage against Kai'Sa in their bout to score because of this, as once the ball falls to Ness, who Kai'Sa already forsake to awaken his true ego, he is unable to change and adapt to his new self. Isagi never had this thought though. He forced Ness to evolve and get rid of his slave mentality to serve the king of Kai'Sa. So Ness, in this moment to create magic, he sends the perfect pass, but Kai'Sa stopped believing in him. So the only one through on goal is the egoist that surpasses them all, Isagi Yoichi. No one else thought anything of Ness and expected nothing, and because of this, Isagi scores his direct shot, becoming the Demon King of Blue Lock, devouring everything and calling Kai'Sa a clown like he always wanted. Now this goal actually isn't anything insane from the outside view, but in the story term perspective with everything that built it up, obviously it's an S tier in terms of writing, but objectively, just looking at the goal itself, it falls into the B tier, or you know, if you want to glaze Isagi, it's an A tier. But with this goal, Isagi ranks joint first with Rin in the #1 spot, and he's the ideal candidate to have the strongest ego that Jinpachi had planned. Now to enjoy more peak fiction about Blue Lock, and you want to learn everything about Isagi calling Kai'Sa a clown and dethroning him, where I explain the entire Neo Egoist League, watch this video on your screen right now.